A warm welcome to Abode Masters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Today, I would like to share a short accepted master's speech demonstrating a lasting commitment to serving others through the construction of hospitals. The spirit of Si is for Buddhism and for all sentient beings. To serve Buddhism is to embody wisdom. To serve all sentient beings is to embody compassion. The decision to build hospitals reflects a lasting commitment to humanity. To safeguard lives, we begin with just a handful of sand and a single brick. With sincere hearts, everyone walked tirelessly door to door seeking support. With unwavering dedication, we visited again and again. We wholeheartedly shared the mission and meaning behind building hospitals, inspiring others to give rise to a vow of compassion, thus nurturing the wisdom life and allowing it to continue everlastingly. Accepted by Sister Su Ching from Jieh, Singapore. And for Master's teaching. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sangha land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness. May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Now let us together pray for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal laws. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our abode masters, a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. So today we have 4 sharers. We have Brother Huang, who will be sharing our Dharma Insights, and Brother Zell will be sharing the day and night at Si Abode. And we have Brother Victor and Sister Janet sharing on technology, integration, strength, multiplication. Now, let us invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sister Lily. Draw up my file. Okay, last week we had 3 speakers. Brother Huang said,
Mr. Su Ching, sorry, you need to unmute.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly. Thank you.
Okay, I have my computer thing is not working again. Okay, so I'm turning on both my handphone and my computer. Hold on. Okay, y'all didn't hear a thing just now? No, okay. So, Brother Huang, stay mindful. Don't wait for the end to start. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Brother Joe spoke about though nursing a fever and weak, Master holds firm her vow. She walks with resolve, not resting now. 3 weeks of training to match inner might, preparing the body to match Dharma's light. Momentum must flow like an endless stream. Once we pause, we lose the dream. Relaxation leads to a silent fall. 1 break, then 2, soon we stall. Stay mindful, don't wait for the end to start. True diligence comes from a disciplined heart. The Dharma exists to guide all lives across all realms where compassion thrives. Learning the Dharma takes earnest care, each path unique shaped by coming air. Students must shift and choose to teach, be the light that words can't reach. Praises arise for the triple gems bright. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, our guiding light. The Buddha, once a student, became teacher and guide. With boundless wisdom, he walks beside. The Dharma is not born, nor can it die. It flows through time like wind through the sky. Chapter 2, the Buddha will finally speak, a timeless voice for those who seek. To be like Buddha, one must persist with steady heart and an open fist. Learn, live, and guide. Let truth shine through. The Dharma form takes shape in you. And then we had Sister Lily, who spoke about her experience in Bodh Gaya. Sister Lily stayed in Bodh Gaya through heat and dust. 2 months of effort, service built on trust. The third year now, the Buddha bathing took its place, with care and heart, not a moment to waste. A monk recalled Jieh from a Taiwan stay. He welcomed the chance to host Buddha Day. Held indoors and out, all joined with heart. All volunteers working as one, like service in the form of art. Okay. Local volunteers took up roles with all their might, preparing with joy, morning till night. Guided by love, the sessions ran smooth, with soothing strength and youthful truth. Site team laid mats to shield from the heat, like life's good path beneath tired feet. Seating and shoes arranged just right, cleanliness upheld, 'twas quite a sight. Towels folded into bears with gentle care, flowers arranged with many hands there. Meals were served with warmth and cheer. The sweet watermelon brought smiles far and near. Programs reviewed with monks on site. 400 participants came, drawn to the light. Villagers bathed the Buddha with devotion strong, grateful that faith had waited so long. Contentment, gratitude in hearts we sow. With understanding and forgiveness, love will grow. With open minds, may our hearts always see a smiling world through Zi's sincerity. And then Sister Sharon spoke about the work that is done in Eswatini. In Eswatini, love moved with steady, healing hands. Doctors and nurses served across hot and dusty lands. 2,000 lives touched in just 5 heartfelt days. With clinics in churches and schools, compassion lit the way. Patients queued in silence, waiting for their turn. Hopeful eyes and grateful hearts began to learn. They checked their vitals, gave care without delay, scanned and screened from dawn till close of day. Elders were carried in wheelbarrows and on strong backs. No mountain too steep, no courage relaxed. A patient with numb limbs found strength anew. Lifted by love, the diagnosis finally came through. Cushions handmade from scraps sewn with care, each filled with blessings, a soft gift to share. Children and students join hands to serve. Joy and kindness are what the world deserves. Spectacles gifted so many could finally see, restoring sight and dignity, all given free. Sandwiches fed the hungry, hope fed the soul. Love stitched each moment, gently making us whole. From patient to patient, from ward to ward, they offered comfort, compassion, our reward. Tears fell as cushions were held so tight, symbols of care shining through the night. The days were long, but their hearts felt light. Faith and teamwork turned burden into might. Master Cheng Yen said it, now we all believe. With courage and love, there's nothing we can't achieve. Okay, Kanan for listening. I'll stop share right now and hand over to Brother Chin to introduce the next speaker. Over to you.
So much. This is Su Ching for the great summary. Now we welcome everybody. Good morning, brothers and sisters. We have 3 sessions today. Let's begin with Brother Joe. He's going to share with us the Dharma Insights, a continuation of what his insights are from the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. Brother Joe. Excellent.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to our weekly review. I think this is a great opportunity for everybody to sort of has a different perspective. You know, as I always like to try to bring forth is the perspective where, where logically, what did the Buddha trying to say, and what was the overall message that the Buddha was trying to convey through the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. And so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to continue on. However, I do have to leave a little bit early today. So so I apologize if it caused inconvenience, because I do because our session actually starts at around 7 something, so I need to sort of be there. So I have to leave a little bit early. Okay, so anyway, let's start. So previously, I'm not going to go through all the other sections. We're just going to go through, what we're just going to pick up from where we left off, which was the praises. So last time we talked about the sections 8, 9, and 10, and it's actually these are the praises for the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, the triple gem, the triple jewel that's in the Buddhist teachings. You're gonna have the Buddha, which is the representative of the or it's the founder of the Buddhist teaching of the Buddhism, but it's also the representative of the final form, of the form where we all aspire to become the Buddha. The Dharma is the teachings or the ways that we can become like the Buddha. And the Sangha are the teachers who themselves are aspiring to become like the Buddha. But they're also the teachers to teach others the importance of becoming the Buddha and the road and the path to become the Buddha. So essentially, these are the 3 very important ingredients in the Buddhist teachings, right? You have the final form, you have the inspiration, you have the person or the representation that's who we all want to become. And then you have his teachings of how to become like him. And then we have a group of students and teachers who can teach us to become like Buddha, and also who themselves are learning to become like the Buddha. And that's the three parts of the Buddhism. And it's actually part of the praises from 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's where we're going to pick off. All right, so we talked about the sutra itself talks about the supremely great and greatly awakened Lord of Sages. And the Lord of Sages, basically, he reached this level where he has no more defilement, no more contamination, and no more attachment. And what this means is that these are all his personal achievements. He can do this because he is no longer afflicted. There's no longer any afflictions. And these are what he can achieve on his own. However, not only that, but he is also a great guiding teacher because he can train heavenly beings and men like the trainers of elephants and horses. And I think this is a very important parallel where, the elephants and horses, they're smart, they have their particular functions, but somewhat, in terms of spirituality, they are not at the level of human beings. And so this is like the great guiding teacher actually guides and teaches across all the different realms. And I think this is what we talked about before, where I think in the first few sections, we talked about the Buddhist teaching applies to across all the realms, applies to all the sentient beings. So it's not just only for human beings, but it's for every animal, every different realms. So cultivation and virtues are like wind or fragrance that permeates everything. And this talks about impactful influencer. And I really like this. I really like, the fact that the Buddha himself isn't just a teacher. I mean, you can be a great teacher, but can you really teach or influence? It really depends on who you are and how you carry yourselves. And this is the part where I think, you talk about being the positive influence of the society, right? You stand out. The presence of you gives people meaning, and that's important. Okay, so that's something that that I think is very important. That's a praise for the Buddha. So now we're going to come into the praise for the Dharma. So these are this is the sutra, and this is the part that talks about the neither nor. And we spent a long time about this. And the reason why all this, it's in the section for praising the Dharma, it's because it's telling us that the Dharma isn't created. It has been already in existence, and there is no cause or condition that brings it in. It's already here. It's all around us. It's just recently, COVID-19 has been, sort of a resurging recently. And so I really believe that the virus has always been around. The virus of COVID-19 never leaves us. It's still around. The only thing that differs is whether your body is able to fight it. And from whether it's, whether we're giving these shots to prepare us, or that we have the right nutrition from our intake or the right exercise, etc. If we have all of that, the right sleep, the right food, the right everything, then even if all these viruses that's around us, we are strong enough and healthy enough to make sure that nothing happens. However, if there are times when our immune system is not prepared, then it's going to come out. So I really believe that all these things are around us, but it's just waiting for that condition to ripe. Dharma is always around us as well, and it's waiting for the condition to show us. So without this condition, we wouldn't be able to know that it's around us. And what was this condition? This condition was the Buddha. The Buddha came to our world to tell us that it's around. The Dharma is around us, and how we can use it and how we can learn it. And so the Buddha also tells us that the Dharma is not fixed to a form. It's not square nor round. The moment that you said it's a square, then you have diminished the role and the meaning of Dharma. So it's not something that you can identify but what it looks like. But it's also something that you can't fix and pinpoint to say it is this. So that's what Dharma is. So it's not creating or inciting, and it's not moving or turning. It's not an action or inaction. It's not something where you do or something that you don't do. It's rather the process. It's the thinking. It's the justification for doing something or not doing something. So it's not in the action itself, but rather it's in the process. And it's both an action and an inaction. Okay? So Dharma is truly the representation of infinite and or uncountable. It's not something where you can just count and say it is this, therefore there are 10 squares or 11 circles. You can't. You cannot count it. So the more that you want to have a fixed meaning, the more that you are, the further away you are from what it means. And it's not fixed to anything. And it's not countable, and it's not finite, and it can exist in any form, under any circumstances, and present itself in any color or action. So lastly, we're going to be talking about in section 10, the 32 marks and the 80 characteristics. And this is the praise for the group of students as well as teachers that's going to carry on the torch, that's going to teach the importance of the Dharma, and that's also going to be the students of the Dharma. So on the surface, this section really talks about the Buddha's 32 marks and 80 characteristics. And in fact, if you read the sutra, it is exactly that. It is exactly going through all 32 marks going through all 80 characteristics. And that's what it does. That's what it does. It's going through each individual marks and characteristics that supposedly make Buddha very, very special. But in reality, I think that was 2,500 years ago. If somebody looked like that 2,500 years ago, it truly represents someone who is very blessed, somebody who has all the right features that a person of virtue should have 2,500 years ago. But if this person, with all the 32 marks and 80 characteristics, were to be presented today, in today's world, in the 21st century world, then this person somehow might look like an alien. It's just not something, the way that we think about beauty, the way we think about pleasant is very different. How we think of beauty is very different from 2,500 years ago. So the 32 marks and 80 characteristics is not something where, we carry to this world and to this time, 21st century, and then we go, wow, this is wonderful. I want to look like that. Well, most people don't want to look like this. But anyway, this is just basically an enumeration of the physical features that the Buddha has. However, I really think it's really about the pleasant, likable, honorable physical form that the Buddha takes. And I think this is important realization. It's not trying to tell you that Buddha is this tall or this thin or this pleasant or this presentable. I think it's not just talking about the physical features. That would definitely diminish the meaning of the sutra, right? I think that we just talk about, Dharma isn't this nor isn't that. And then the next section we're talking about Buddha is this, is that. I really think that it's about telling you why the Buddha is so likable and why the Buddha feels so pleasant and feels so friendly, where you just wanted to talk to him, where you look at him and you like what you see and you feel drawn to the Buddha and you feel like this is your friend. And it really depends on, the physical look. But I really wanted to show. So all these were the 32 marks and 80 characteristics. And it can be broken down into three parts. The first part is the part where it talks about the Buddha as a holder of truth with all the major cultivation accomplishments, right? So remember when we were praising the Buddha, we also had this. We also had the personal cultivation, the personal achievements, right? That's the first part. The second part is the manifestation, which actually is the result, as a result of your cultivation accomplishments. You have done this much. You have accomplished this much. That's in part one. Part two tells you what were the manifestation or the result or the effect of what you have done in part one. So part two talks about the result. After you have accomplished all these things, what are the results? And then part three talks about, well, now that you have all these results and you have accomplished so much as an individual, now you need to elevate from the holder of truth to become the teacher of truth. So this is the parts of the 32 marks and 80 characteristics. You can go back and read it, but for me, all these were divided into three parts. So once again, right? It's who you are and what you have become because of who you are and what you can and need to elevate to, right? So because of what you did in one, you become number two, and then you aspire to reach number three. That's what 1, 2, 3 really means, and that's what the 32 marks and 80 characteristics are. So let's go through what they are, right? The holder of truth. What does that mean? The sutra says, he gives rise to the perfection of precept, samadhi, wisdom, liberation and liberation's understanding and views. He develops 3 insights, 6 spiritual powers, and the practices to enlightenment. He brings forth loving kindness, compassion, 10 powers, and fourfold fearlessness. So all these things, right? All these things are telling you these are Buddha's major learning. He learned all these things. He has all these tools. He has learned all these, whether it's insights, the practices, the fearlessness, the 10 powers, the 6 spiritual powers, and what we talked about, the precepts, samadhi, and wisdom. He's got all these through his years of cultivation. Throughout his years of cultivation, he has reached these. He has gotten these. He has these tools, and that's what the holder of truth is going to be. And that means he has been a great student, a wonderful student, where he's able to not only learn all these things, but he is also able to obtain these tools. And now that he has attained this, what are the effects, right? So appears in the world with good karmic causes and conditions. What does that mean? It means that because you have done so wonderful, you had the 10 powers, you had the 6 spiritual power, you practice precept, you practice samadhi, and you have wisdom. You have all the things that we just talked about. And therefore, you have created great karmic causes. You have great karmic links with all the people that you're in contact with. You create good karma because you don't do anything stupid. You don't do anything bad. You do all the things according to the karmic laws of nature. And you do all the things that's right? You try to guide people. You try to cultivate yourself. You rid of yourself of all the affliction. And therefore, very naturally, you're going to have good karma causes and conditions with sentient beings. And therefore, they are going to like you. They are going to like you. Of all these physical marks, which is it's very long. There are 32 marks and 80 characteristics. And of all these things, and they're excellent characteristics, which are to be seen. They are seen by the people. And this is the part where it talks about, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that means that these physical features are not the reason why you like him. The reason why you like him is because these are the characteristics to be seen by you. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You look at the Buddha, and the reason why you like him, the reason why he's pleasant to be seen, is because he had all these great and good karmic causes and conditions. And that's what this section is really about. It's not there to talk to you that the 32 marks and 80 characteristics are the reason why you like him. These marks and characteristics are the representation where you see him and you like him. And the true reason why you like him is not because how good he looks, but rather the good karmic causes and conditions that he had sown with all these lifetimes where he does his cultivation. Okay, so that's what number 2 is. Number 2 talks about manifestation. Because he has done all the things right, because he has gotten rid of all the affliction, of the arrogance, of the hatred, of all these negative things. And that's why, I think I need to be leaving real soon. So all right, so I gotta go. And but I'm just sharing with everybody that the 32 marks and 80 characters isn't there just to talk about the 32 marks and 80 characteristics. It's really there to talk about this is what happened. You are going to be likable because of what you have done, not only to everybody, but to yourself, because you have practiced, you have cultivated so that you become a good individual. You have done all the right things. That's why people like you. People like you not because of how you look in the physical marks, but rather what you have done in terms of cultivation. Okay, so that's the sharing for today. And I hope that when you have an opportunity to go back to read the 32 marks and 80 characteristics, we don't really fall into it and think, oh, so if I want to become like Buddha, I need to look like the Buddha. But I really think that this is the part where it talks about manifestation. You've done something good, and naturally it's going to show. You are a very cultural person because you read, because you practice, you carry yourself in a certain way. It's not something that you can just put on a face and then you become that. It's not. People are not shadow. They don't see you and like you just because you look nice, but rather who you are and what you have aspired to become. And that's what this section is really about. There are 32 marks and 80 characteristics. It's really there to tell you that you become so friendly, so likable, so amicable because of all the cultivations that you have done. Okay, that's the sharing for today. And I wish everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And hopefully we continue this on the next week. Thank you.
So much, Brother Joe, for the great insight. We look forward to the next session. All right. We have Brother Zell. Is going to share with a very interesting topic. The Brother Joe is going to share with us. Day and night at the Jieh Si Abode. And I mean, certainly for me, I look forward, especially on the part when the sun in the morning. Or what you do? What is that?
Okay, good evening, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. Yeah, thanks for having me again on the morning English sharing team. I think the last time I was sharing was probably 1 year or so before. So I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity to actually sit down and go through my phones and do some reflections on what I've actually done in the past year. So a little bit of introduction about myself. So I'm actually grew up in Johor, Batu Pahat, and then went to Damansara and get to know Jieh. And I graduated in Victoria University of Wellington with a major in e-commerce and information systems. So after joining Jieh, I became a vegetarian and I turned into vegan in 2017 after watching some documentaries about compassion for animals. So what I like to do now is reading, walking, and exploring my surroundings in the abode. So I work in Jieh in Malaysia, KL Kepong for 2.5, and then I came to Taiwan and currently working for the Department of International Affairs Division's Asia Pacific team as an administrative officer. So actually time flies. It has been more than 2 years since I got here in Hualien. So I believe most of you have been to the abode. To my experience, when you are here in the abode for a short time and living here, there's a big difference. So just let me try to share some of my personal experience with you all. So Huai Sifu once said that if you're staying in the abode, you actually don't need a clock or a watch. You just need to listen to the wood knocking sound, which indicates that you need to wake up. You need to go for the morning chanting. It's time for breakfast. It's time for lunch. It's time to wake up from your afternoon nap, and then it's time for the evening chanting. It's time for dinner, and it's time to sleep. So that's if you're a monastic in the abode. So for us staying in the abode, it's different that if you are a volunteer staying in the abode and you are actually like us, a lay monastic in the abode. So you get to place into 4 groups. So these 4 groups is part of the subsidiary work. So like for us, like instance, like I work for the office. I work in the office. So after the work, we need to do what we call is a subsidiary work. It's called 父子事. So the full 4 team of us. So we will rotate every week. So on this week, we will be in charge of cleaning the. We will be in charge of washing the dishes, like as you see in the photos. So 1 week we'll be washing the dishes, and then the second week we'll be washing the dishes in the afternoon. So in the afternoon is actually the busiest time. So most of the people, they will come and have meeting with Shangren or come to the abode during the afternoon. And then the next week we'll be collecting all the plates and then cleaning all the tables. And then the 4th weeks we will be in charge of the evening dishwashers. So I think some of the volunteers, they will help us when they are in the abode with the cleaning. And most of the volunteers, they don't know that actually they can come and help us with dish cleaning and washing at the back of the canteen. So I welcome everyone to come and help us if you have free time, if you are not rushing for to prepare your PPT or anything. Right. So of course, this year, every year we are very busy in a few events, especially during Chinese New Year, and then for the Buddha bathing or the anniversary. So yep. So but beside my usual work and this subsidiary work, we do have other side quests that you came across. So sometimes some sifu will say, oh, I'm getting old, so I would like someone to help me to pluck this flower so that I can offer to the Buddha, to the Bodhisattva. So sometimes I will help sifu to pick this Mongolia cocoa. So we have maybe about 20 or 30 plants near our recycling center. So during the blooming seasons, the recorded was 111 flowers that I've plucked, and of course recently the number has been dropped to a single digit. And sometimes in the evening after my evening walk, and then one time I came across a sifu who asked me to help sifu to drop these snails that sifu picked up in the garden, which is eating up the vegetables in the garden. So sifu asked me to release them in a far away garden. Of course, there's no one planting other vegetable, just drop it at a random area. So for my work this year, it has been busier than last year, simply because for this year we are stopping to do what we call the international 4-in-1, the global 4-in-1, which usually we will invite all the countries to come for the 4-in-1 camp, and everyone will be in one place. 500, 600 of the volunteers comes together. But since last year, I think many countries, they have tried to have their customized individual 4-in-1 camp. I hope you know what's 4-in-1. So all the committee of the community, they will come to Hualien. They will come to whichever cities or Jingsitang where they have enough manpower to hold this camp. So just in March, we have about 6 groups of volunteers from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. Some, they are even the staff from the international school, from ITV. So we were really busy in the month of March hosting many international volunteers camp here in Hualien. And then in April and May, it was a very busy time for me personally and our team because of the Myanmar Mandalay earthquake, which happened on the 28th of March. So, and then in May, once again, we were busy with more international volunteers coming back to the abode. So same again, as you can see from the list, Indonesia, Singapore, and of course, repaying the Buddha team, the Buddha Land team, they came back again, the Malaysian and the Singaporean volunteers, and then the Philippines, they came back again. And then so now, so Shangren is like Brother Joe is quite busy following Shangren, touring in Taiwan. So while we were not busy with our international camps and this Mandalay earthquake, so every day for my work, there are a lot of meetings, our own group meetings with the volunteers in Myanmar or in India. Now we are preparing for the budget of 2026. We are initiating it, so we hope that the countries they will start to plan for the budget, and then there is a lot of the payment requests from the camps. They came here, and there are of course a lot of planning for the upcoming projects, a lot of communication. So we are currently working with a new group. They are in the northeastern India. It's a new group that we are working with. It's called the Shishu Corona Sangha. So over that place in India, they are having heavy rain earlier than their usual monsoon. So the flood is affecting the villagers over there. So this time, I'm working with a Venerable Bante in the area to help to provide food relief for the underprivileged group, about 300 families. We are providing them for about 2 months of food aid for them, because they in that area they are farmers, so their crops has been destroyed by the flood. So hopefully, working with Si, we can provide them with these 2 months of food aid, which will let them survive through this hard time before they can stand on their grounds again. Right. So recently, of course, most of my work is working with the Myanmar volunteers. So and like during the international volunteers coming back, so like we do have a group of us, we have 9 team members, and we divided our works respectively. So for example, if this staff, they are in charge of Sri Lanka, and then he or she will be the main person in charge of the main things. Like for my role, it's mainly some accommodation and transportation, like arranging the buses, and of course some of the meals when they are in the abode, and a lot of meetings during the abode. Like in the photos, as you can see, I'm not sure if any one of you have been here. So in the abode, when there are so many volunteers, as our abode is quite small, when you have so many volunteers, we need to have a meeting in our Sieli factory. So in our Sieli factory, we need to get we need to request to have a meeting at this area with the Burmese volunteers, and we need to arrange some reporting with Master. So for the Burmese team, they came here. It was a very an unusual meeting and with Master, because for the first arranged meeting with Master, where the Burmese volunteers, they reported what they have done in Mandalay, in Sagaing, right? There are 8, and then Master would like to know more about what's their plan for the next phase, which they didn't really think much about their next phase, because they were quite busy at the main time helping the monastery, the orphanage at the place. So they were not really planned very well for their next phase, which Master was very concerned about. So they have to stay around, they have to change their train tickets, so they need to host more meetings to report to Master. So we have the second unexpected meeting with Shangren. And once again, Master was not too impressed by our preparation. So Master was requesting for the third meeting with Master to present again what's the plan for the next phase, right? So that was what we were busy with when the Myanmar volunteers came to the board reporting about the earthquake. And so some of the work, so in Myanmar, of course, we request some souvenirs for the flood for the earthquake victims. So sister especially requested for the beads for the victims, because I think when it was out of electricity in the area, these glow in the dark beads will hopefully bring them some peace in mind during some aftershocks or during their lonely night. So I need to request this from Shifu, and Shifu will prepare when the volunteers are around. And sometimes when there are not enough volunteers, even me, I have to help Shifu, put the string on the beads for some of the repairs, etc. Some things that I have not expected to do that. I'm not good with needles and strings. And recently, of course, not just recently, actually every week we do request aids from individual or from NGO writing to us through our Jieh aid system to get help from us. So from getting medical aid or helping someone to build a house, etc. From India and from Myanmar. Someone wants to donate their clothes for the victim, etc. So we need to evaluate, we need to discuss with the volunteers before we reject or we go on with the request. So last week, there was someone who wrote to the Abode saying that he had a friend in Saudi Arabia, he was sick, he needs help, etc., etc. So actually this letter sounds to me is more like a scam. I just think it's a scam. So this one I forwarded, I've reported to our team, so I think they will divert it to the local team, the local charity team, to get in touch with the person who wrote this letter to us. And sometimes we working in the Abode, we are like information counter. Sometimes some staff or some volunteers or some shifu, they receive some gifts from the volunteers, and then they will ask us, do you know who gave this to Master, right? So because some of the volunteers, they can't read English, right? So for me, from the left one, that we could see that actually that was presented to Ta'ai TV station, Brother Aming, and Brother Aming representing the Myanmar volunteers to present it to Sangren for Jade Buddha statue, and together with this banner, right? So I at least I could help with replying to Shifu that this is actually from Myanmar. And I actually found this interesting words in the middle. It's called Manusa. So Manusa, actually, I think it makes sense if for Malaysian, which is Manusia, which mean the human realm. So I did came across a book written by a scholar in Malaysia, basically saying that there is a lot of Pali words or Sanskrit words been using by Malaysia, like Vijaya, Berjaya. It was actually Pali words, because there's been a long history in Malaysia that we had recorded the presence of the Buddhist history in Malaysia. And on the right photos, is actually more than 10 years ago, the person in charge in Honduras, he presented this small Tzu ship, which was crafted by the Honduran volunteer, presented to Sangren. And that time there were replica of another ship which is kept in the person in charge of Honduras. But unfortunately, I think he passed away last year or this year. I'm not sure if you know this brother. And so it so happened that I knew his son, Brother George. So I asked him to look in his house if he could find this replica in his home. So this was what he found at his home, the replica of the gift given to to Sangren and the exact same one in his house. Other of my works, of course, including arranging meetings with Shifu, and on the left hand side we could see Chen Shifu and Xiu Shifu actually talking with practicing Chinese with the Burmese volunteers. So there were 5 of them who came last year in the Abode. They stayed for 6 months learning Chinese. So we tried to arrange weekly Chinese sessions between the students and Shifu after they went back in mid-February, and unfortunately we had to stop it because of the earthquake in Mandalay. So in the middle, of course, there's a lot of international camp here in the Abode. We need to set up different classrooms, and when we're out of classroom, they have to sit outside to drink water with Dharma masters. And of course, a lot of sharings. We need to prepare for some YouTube sharing. So sometimes when internet is down, or some of the stuff they are quite new, they are not too sure on how to host YouTube. So sometimes we need to do the troubleshooting with them. And the Abode, every day we had a lot of visitors from different countries, from the locals. Sometimes we have other monks or nuns coming to visit, and this time we have very special guests who came and visit the Abode. So it was maybe we can call Sister Michelle Yeoh, because she came here with Brother Vincent to learn more about the silent mentor. So I was quite fortunate to be caught last minute to become the translator, because our usual translator, Sister Lisa, was unavailable that day. Right. So since last year and this year, I've been working closely with the India and Myanmar volunteer, because that's the country that I'm in charge of, India and Myanmar. So as I mentioned, the students from Myanmar on the right hand photos, the 5 of them, they came here to learn Chinese, and actually they are very outstanding youngsters. They are in their mid-20s. So they used to be Su Ching, and some of them, they were even the care recipient of Jieh. And then they have been very committed. And then they joined as Jieh staff in Yangon, and then they became Jieh staff in their local chapters. And on the left-hand side, we could see VP Lin working together with the core committee members of India and Nepal, preparing to report, to make a lot of major key decisions and then report to Sangren. Right. So if you know this program, I'm not sure how many of you actually watch it. There are the English subtitles in the footsteps of Venerable Master Cheng Yen. I actually was asking Shu Sifu about what's the translation of Na Li Zhu Ji, because I didn't really watch it in the English subtitles before. So actually they covered a lot about the Mandalay earthquake, because that was what we have been busy doing during April and May. So during the peak time, shortly after the earthquake, that was what I had to do. I have to prepare a lot of information. We had to gather a lot of information. We need to prepare to report to Sangren first before 10 a.m. because after 10, Sangren will have guests or have other reporting sessions. So before 10 o'clock, maybe around 9:30, Sangren will come to his meeting room, and Sangren will start walking for a few rounds. So usually Shifu will say, please let Sangren walk for at least 10 rounds before you report anything to Sangren, so that Sangren will have some time to exercise. Because if not, if you have anything you would like to report to Sangren, Sangren is very concerned about the earthquake, so Sangren will immediately sit down and listen to your report. So that's what we are avoiding it. So sometimes we'll be, peeking from the window and try to see how many rounds have Sangren walked in her meeting room. So we hope that Sangren will get enough exercise before we report to Sangren. And then we had a lot of cross-department coordination. So of course, if you know, not only the Burmese volunteers, our brothers and sisters from Penang, they have been accompanying the Burmese volunteers since 2008. So they even went to Mandalay to assist them. And of course, there are also some coordination with Taai TV station, because some of the statistics we need to align. For example, the number of deaths and the number of aids, how many folding bed we have sent there, etc. So we need to have the same figures, because they have to report some of the news. And we have to work very closely with the logistics team, because we need to send so many relief aid. So we are very grateful of this time the KL Selangor chapter. They have been working with UN World Food Program with the depot, which I found it quite interesting, because during COVID we organized and we sent the folding bed, a few hundred of them, into the warehouse of UN in Subang, so close to the Air Force base. So I was the one who sent there, and of course now it's brother Alan and brother the new brother who are in charge of the logistics, and then they have sent it. They've done a lot of coordinations with UN, and UN was very concerned, because a lot of the aid other NGOs sent to Yangon, to Myanmar, they were actually stuck in the airport, because the military will send the resources to the place they want the resources to be. So Tzu Chi has been very firm that we would like to send the aid directly, with respect, with love, to the victim by our own hands. So that was some negotiation going on between our Myanmar volunteers with the government, that we would like to send this directly. So it has been the negotiation been going around for a few days, and even Master was aware of this situation, and Master Sangren even said, okay, Master were aware that this is a very, very tough situation for them. So if the military would like to take maybe 10 or maximum 20% of the aid, we are willing to collaborate in this method, right? So fortunately, with the hard work of our volunteer, we have the team that actually finally managed to send all the relief aid to the victims and to the monastery and to the orphanage. So they really did a great work. So of course we have an archive department, so I'm not sure what is actually translated in English. So we call 文史处. So it's a department where they recorded the history, etc. So they are, of course, they are very working very closely with us to make sure that they're recording the correct story and correct figure. So at the beginning of the earthquake, we have Zoom meetings with the volunteers every morning. So until they felt that evening is more suitable, because they want to head out earlier in the morning to evaluate what they can help. So we change the meeting to sometimes 9 o'clock in the evening, etc. So every day we have meetings with them, so that we can report to Sangren the latest informations from the front line. So the Monday charity sharing, of course, we need to compile information and touching stories, because just by reporting very hardcore statistic, it's not what Sangren is looking forward to. So Sangren hope to listen to some touching stories. So we need to dig a lot. We need to find a lot of photos, making sure a lot of information and clarifying details, so that our brother Simon Xiong, our Xiongfu, the deputy CEO of our charity mission can report to the international audience every Monday afternoon, right? So, and sometimes when we have diligent days, etc., we'll have event sharing. So sometimes the participants, they will request us to share about the Mandalay earthquake. So actually it's a lot of works. Then sometimes I got stuck in which information that I should share. So because there are a lot of information that we have been working on for weeks, for months, and we need to narrow it down in 20 minutes or sometimes 10 minutes to share with them. So sometimes I need to spend some time to filter and to select which stories that I should share with everyone. Right. So in conclusion about this Mandalay earthquake, actually they have two phases of the aid. So the phase one, of course, has been completed in April. So mainly about some emergency cash relief, about hosting 550 monks and nuns, having a blessing ceremony in the morning, starting the casual work. So it ended up the first phase, and then the second phase is actually ongoing since May until now. It's ongoing. So that the latest statistic I just seen in the morning, so they have built more than 160 prefabricated classroom and houses, because of course education cannot stop. So Master is very concerned, and we help a lot of schools and monastic to build this prefabricated classroom so that the students can resume their lessons in time, because in their damaged classrooms, the parents or even the teachers, they feel unsafe to conduct the class there. So the one-story prefabricated classroom for them is the perfect classroom, so that they can use it to resume their lessons. So from this earthquake, I've learned quite a lot, because we've been working day and night for this earthquake. So Master's same principle for Buddhism for sentient beings, as Myanmar is of course another we call a Buddha land. So majority of the citizens, they are actually Buddhists. So, and Mandalay is a very key city and very ancient city, 100 years of history, where the monastic used to compile a lot of Buddhist sutras in that town. So Master was aware, and she's very concerned on how to help them with the rebuilding of the monastery, of the orphanage, of the old folks' house. So these are the more helpless people. Master would like to help them. So very often Master always asks about how's the plan that we can help them. So actually the team, they are very busy with the prefabricated classroom and some of the distribution of the rice and oil. So we are still waiting for them to present to us the long-term planning of the rebuilding of the monastery and orphanage in Mandalay. And interesting enough, the monastery in Mandalay, they are not just a monastery. So sometimes the monastery is also an orphanage, and sometimes the monastery is also a school, and a school which is recognized by the government, because they follow the syllabus of the government, where they teach the students. So the monastery at the same time is also the orphanage and the school, right? So so we could see that Master is always concerned about not only the sentient beings, the monastery, and also the Buddhism, in how to help them to revive the local Buddhism and the daily life. So of course there was an incident that I can share with everyone. So one day I was reporting to Sangren about the distribution of that area, where we gave them 24 kg of rice and 1 liter of oil to the 266 families in that area. And then Master asked me, so do you know how many family members of each family, the 260 family that you distributed? I say yes. So Master asked, do you give the same amount for one family member and 6 family members? Do you give 24 kg of rice and 1 liter of oil for the different number of family member? I say yes. And then Master was not angry. Master was angry and not happy with my answer, because that's the wrong way to do it. So you should distribute. For example, if there are only 1 members in the family, you should give 24 kg. But if there are 6 family members, you should give them more. So I was quite stunned at the moment. And then other manager next to me, they couldn't really answer at that moment, because we actually forgotten that our Burmese volunteer did explain to us the reason why we gave the same amount was because that was quite a sensitive area where they have the government military supporters and the anti-government military supporters at that area. So if we give them a different amount of rice and oil, they may use it as an excuse to say that our Tzu Chi are distributed unevenly to different supporters. So to make it fair and square, we decided to distribute the same amount to everyone, even though that was not what Tzu Chi usually do in our disaster distribution. But unfortunately, we were forced to do this to avoid sensitivity in the area and to get a lot of questionings from the local government. That was one main reason. And the second reason was because of that area, the maximum aid they've got was maybe 2 kg of rice. So 24 kg of rice was already out of the expectation. They didn't expect someone to give them this much of aid in the area. So imagine if they received 48 kg of rice or 2 liter of cooking oil. That will be what we call mind blown for them, and then it will be very shocking. So to avoid this kind of events and maybe the influx of the nearby villages, so we make it even. So after that, so as I mentioned that we report to Sangren before 10 a.m. and we get clarified and everything. So we prepared again. We call the local volunteers to confirm again our information, and then before lunch, we report again to Sangren. So Sangren accepted our explanation, and then finally we leave for another day, right? So for the logistics part, so recently I knew that in China, so there's a 大爱感恩科技, they've invented a folding bed. So for our folding bed, the usual one that we know is about 15 kg. The folding one you can take, it's very durable. It can be a chair, it can be a bed. There's a lot of usage, but unfortunately they have some weakness, which you can only use it on a very flat area, and it's very heavy to load. So, and then there is a new version of the folding bed invented in China, 大爱感恩科技, is about only 7 kg. I think it's the one that we usually seen during COVID time. The smaller. Sorry, I didn't prepare the photos for everyone. So that one was accepted, and the victims of the earthquake, they love it very much because it is very comfortable. Because our durable folding bed, the traditional one, it was not too comfortable when you sleep on it. So the China version of the folding bed was a better choice for the people staying in a temporary shelter because of the space limit, etc. Right. So as you know, Malaysian Chinese, like for me, sometimes when I present to Sangren didn't really catch my accent or some of the words of choice that we use. Sangren got confused. So we get we get some of the scolding because when internally 商人 will be quite strict with us, and sometimes we get some laughing when there are other audience in the floor, right? So in the magazines, because we were busy reporting and everything, we didn't have a lot of time to record like my personal experience. Fortunately, I found these photos in the magazine where the first day when the earthquakes struck, and then we report to Sangren firsthand. And then in April, we online with the volunteers to update Sangren what's the latest distribution situation. Right. So throughout the Mandalay earthquake experience, I was very grateful to have the chance to learn from Shangren's compassion and support. And I really salute the managers' experience and their support in this project, and of course our dedicated volunteers in Myanmar and in Malaysia. So I could see that there is hope in this hopeless world during these projects, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to learn. Actually, I was mainly in charge of India and Nepal when I joined this department. And from June last year, because of some shifting in our internal department, I was looking after the Myanmar country. So very shortly after I take care of Myanmar, and then in September there was Yagi typhoon, and we were busy for a round of the disaster relief. And within 6 months there was another earthquake. Well, so for me there's a lot of disasters in Myanmar, and of course it's very tiring, but it's a great opportunity for me to learn at the same time. So just last night I felt that I should pay a tribute to our late brother Michael. So for the Filipinos, they call him Ahia. So when I first hear Ahia, so there's a Hokkien, it's a Taiwanese Ahia means brother. So I thought it's called like Malay is called father. I was like, he's not that old to become father for these young volunteers, but I only know it's actually called brother. So brother Michael Zell, right? So brother Michael Zell, actually he passed away in 2nd of June in the morning before 8 o'clock in Hualien Jieh Hospital at the age of 51. So he was that time the Jieh Philippines Deputy CEO. So actually it was a very shocking moment to me, because it's really impermanence, and miracle didn't happen for him, because I remember I saw him bidding goodbye to Sangren in Sangren's meeting room, stating that he's going for the treatment in Hualien Hospital about a month before his passing. So to me, he looked totally normal to me. And I've heard that he's having on and off fevers, and the fever was very strange, because it will gradually, his temperature will gradually rise in the middle of the night, and then his temperature will gradually lower down, and then he became normal again during the day. So I did see him working in our gardens, helping the Sifu with some of the flowers. To me, he looks totally normal. I didn't know that he's a patient, and he's always optimistic. We have meals in our canteen, and then until this shocking moment about his passing, and then of course we went for his funeral. So I remember when I first met brother Michael, we've heard so much about the Yolanda typhoon, and this book was given by him when we went to the Philippines in 2015 in March. So it was a book about what Jieh has been doing in Tacloban, in Ormoc. So I read the book, and I spent about 10 days with the teacher association. We were distributing the kiddie Jinse Forism book to the schools in Tacloban and Ormoc. So he was our driver. He was our tour guide for the place. So I did spend a lot of time with him, learning from him, especially. And on 2016, he came to Malaysia. He had a good sharing with us. And then it was another time for him to catch up with us. And I remember because he used to be Si Ching, he's a Si Ching alumni, so he also accompanying the Filipino Si Ching. And every year during Christmas and New Year, I would see him because he will be translating for the Filipino Si Ching, and we'll have some time to catch up with him. But unfortunately, 2 years ago, I wasn't able to see him, and only to find out that he was a bit unwell, right? And that time, he was still unsure of his sickness. He was unable to identify what was his problem. So only in February that we knew that he had a rare leukemia, and it was very sudden for us. So and then we lost a key figure during our international Chi Ching camp here in Taiwan, right? So I remember what I've learned from him that because last time when we were promoting 熏法香 in the morning, so that time we 熏法香 every day. So that time I remember I asked him, so why are not so many people 熏法香 when Sangren was promoting and everyone was promoting? So he said actually many people are not really cherishing Sangren's Dharma. So we should be the people who cherish Sangren's Dharma. So he was the one that I think really cherishing Sangren's Dharma, and he put it into action. And I remember one time when I saw a broken wall on the school, and I asked him and said, "Brother, is this the Yolanda typhoon caused this wall to collapse?" And then he examined for a bit and said, "No, it was another recent typhoon recently happened in that area." And then I felt that there are so many disasters happening in the Philippines, and then you must be busy, and there's a lot of things that you are doing, and it seems like it's endless. So how do you deal with this? And then Brother Michael just replied, of course, in these Sahara worlds, there are a lot of sufferings, there are a lot of disasters. But working on the Bodhisattva path, this is what Master wants us to do. So then we just do it, right? So for me, Brother Michael is a very confident, very visionary, a role model. So I think it's a good time that we remember his legacies and his commitment to Tzu Chi, right? I think this is I think I have it's time up for me, so I think that will be the sharing for me today. Maybe I'll leave it to the next time when we met. So actually there are some of the things that I can share with you, but perhaps next time. So thank you everyone for listening. Pass my time back to the host, Kanan.
Brother Zhao, for the truly inspiring sharing. Brother, can I just quickly ask you, what's the plan going forward, and what's your aspiration?
My plan moving forward, of course, I've signed a contract with Tzu Chi Charity HQ for 3 years. So after 3 years, hopefully they will renew my contract so that I can continue to work here in the HQ, continue to learn from Sangren, from the manager, etc. Because I think it's a great learning opportunities for me here while Sangren is still around. Sangren is still very active. So I hope that I can continue to stay here in Hualien. Unless I don't get to renew my contract, I'll go back to serve in KL Tzu Chi Kampong. And
Okay, thank you, Karen, so much, Brother Zhao. Let me now move on to so from Taiwan, we've gone to from Malaysia, and then I'm going back to the US. Brother Victor and Sister Janet, who has been on this platform a number of times. All right, so she's going to share with us in technology integration and strength multiplication. Brother Victor and Sister Janet, platform all yours.
Yes, Dear beloved Masters and Yen, Abode Masters, Global Ziji family, and online listeners. Good morning. What a wonderful day. This is Victor Jieh. My Dharma name is Jieh.
This is Jenna Yang, and my dominant is Si. We are from Great Lover Radio. Recently, oh my God. Recently, the popular topic is to chat with the AI and ask AI question. Some people have a trouble in their heart and also want to find AI to vent their grievances. Let's talk about the AI today, okay? Victor, you are the workplace now is related to the AI. Do you think everyone likes AI? Do you think, hold on. Do you think AI is very powerful?
Okay. Let me use the verification method today to see it. First, take a closer look at the video.
Did you find anything? This is AI that can make the people intelligent. It doesn't matter if you can't dance, AI will help you dance.
Let's look at it again. So AI can help you control various electrical appliances at home remotely. You can listen and speak to it. The most common thing is that even the doorman uses AI.
Then take a look. Can AI really do everything? Some people have AI intelligent control inside and outside their homes or buildings. It can help you turn on the light and cook before you get home, or feed your cat when the time is coming. It can also monitor everything inside and outside. Some people learn the language with the AI, just like learning English with the teacher.
Yes, AI is also used in education. In the classroom, various 3C AI tools are used for research and discussion. It seems that AI will know everything in the future. Then what else do our children need to learn?
Yes, now we are developing AI to assist in medical diagnosis system and AI driverless car, or of which there are the new world created by AI. Now there is also AI for economic management in the market. AI is used to make an intelligent analysis called a line chart. And even AI can grab the key to investment, as if teaching you how to get rich. It seems that artificial intelligence, AI can really to do everything. Can AI really answer all the questions? Let's do a test first. I would like to ask AI if it knows Victor Jieh, okay? You see, ChatGPT answered that the photo that's come out was the correct, very handsome and rich in content. But I look at it carefully. Oh my. Why didn't I know that you, Victor Jieh, had been the chairman of the American International Cultural Exchange Association, and you had also served as an advisor to the cultural affair bureau of the Kaohsiung city government. Is that you?
Of course, not me.
Asking another AI, it seems more interested. It answered, Victor is a well-known Taiwanese artist and a medical and a media figures, and it also said that you are famous for your unique voice and in elegant stage style, and that you have an outstanding performance in music, television, and film, and you have participated in many TV shows, TV drama, and film performance. Wow. And you have many award and honor, and your excellent performance has also influenced many younger artists. How come I didn't know that you were a famous movie star before?
Are you talking about me?
Okay. Yes, another AI also said that you are a famous cultural worker in Taiwan, saying that you are very steady and you can sing and act. Why I haven't seen you act well?
Haha, so is this so-called AI? Okay. Then how about asking about you? Ask AI about Janet Yao? Yes, I asked ChatGPT Janet Yao.
See?
So look at the photo. She answered.
It is me? I didn't look like this when I was young, and I didn't do any beauty treatments before. Not only this photo wrong, but they also said that Janet Yao is not a well-known public figure, so there is no record. So very interesting.
Okay, so let's see another AI. That is not bad. Actually said Janet focuses on caring for the disadvantaged group and the companionship and the service of the homeless. It said that you often go to the streets to communicate with the homeless. It seems that this AI has heard that you have shared this aspect. Then another AI said that Janet Yao was the host of 大爱之音, who joined 大爱Internet Radio in 2014. It also said that Janet recently read the Taking Responsibility is a Blessing of Journal of Dharma Master Zheng Yan. So it also said you are a volunteer from the United States and Beijing. Oh, it seems that this AI paying attention to your online sharing.
I think so.
So if it is personal question, we are not well known. So AI cannot have information. Then let's change direction. Ask topics like about Shi.
Okay.
So let's ask ChatGPT. What kind of organization is Shi Charity Foundation? The information it answered does not seem to have too many errors, but there's one point that Shi has launched rescue and volunteer activity in 60 countries around the world. In fact, we Shi all know it has now reached 136 countries now. So it can be seen that the AI has not kept up with the times and follow the pace of Shi.
Okay, in the answer of another AI to the same question, it actually said that Shi has the hospital that specialize in providing free or low-cost medical service, then educational funding, and also provide a scholarship and a living allowance for the student in need. It seems that this information seems to be half understand, not really correct. Okay.
Yes. So there's another AI that also analyzed the organization Shi. There are many controversial points about Shi in the analysis. That is, wrong view are also analyzed. It can be seen that this AI has not really understanding of Su Ching, and it is not an all-powerful AI that knows everything.
Let's take a simpler topic and ask what the Ji for ingredient spirit soup. Okay. AI ChatGPT answer. It is the traditional health preserving soup of the Taiwan Ji medical and charity culture, which contain the lotus seeds, cocos, cosses seeds, and almond. Do you think, is this right?
Oh, it is really a headache. But another AI seems to have the correct answer.
Okay, in fact, from your verification method, just now to see whether AI is very powerful, we will find out why the different AIs have a different answer to the same question. This is related to his own family of the origin, which also affected the reliability of the AI's answers. We must have a judgment.
So let's go back to the basics of AI. Before AI can answer any question, AI must receive education. That needs to be trained before they can answer question. So the training, we call this education from the family of origin. That means the company who own this AI, they have the responsibility to arrange the educational method and select educational direction for AI families, which is very important.
Yes. Okay, at the present, AI's family of the region has the limited learning content. AI itself has no associative ability. We still need to cultivate AI from the learning to the awareness. So we need to understand that AI needs to be cultivated.
So let's take a look. There's a company that specializes in providing AI data source. On the website, it is found that the data source collected by this website are mostly in English, accounting for about 46% of the content are English. While other language, major language, like Spanish, French, German, how about Chinese? They all average about 6%.
Just 6%.
Yeah. So we know the source is from that source because all the AI company trying to get information from that source. And there are a lot of interesting problems we can later on, if we have the chance, we can discuss about that if we have time. Yeah. So we go very fast about the AI. So the AI is so popular now. There are many different AI. So one AI catch my eye. It said explainable artificial intelligence called XAI. Why is it called explainable artificial intelligence? It is a set of process and method that allow the AI user to comprehend, trust the result and output created by the machine learning algorithm. That means how they train the AI. So if that's the standard for AI, then it's called an explainable AI. It's used to describe AI in a model and what it is expected impact and the potential biases, because they draw the information from the big data. A lot of information got biases. How they tell people the AI provided information with such quality or such content. So that's called explainable AI. Instead of just the AI got trained, they got all the information from the internet and try to answer. So that means that's a more civilized way to treat AI. That's a very good, important idea. But this is not new because we're in a fast-moving technology world. And let's go back to earlier century. There's a book. I use that as an example. You can call, if people aware, there's a story about Frankenstein. And people aware of this Frankenstein story, the famous saying is, oh, you create a monster. Okay, so let's go back to the story. The story is about a young scientist. His name is also Victor, but his name is Victor Frankenstein. So this young scientist, maybe in 18th or 19th century, this book was written, is in search of the secret of life. So he created a monstrous creature in a secret experiment. So let's compare that to a lot of AI company. They create an AI trying to answer all the questions to the world. So, so the author called Mary Shelley. So when he wrote the book, she wrote the book, she was not just exploring the technological questions, is that how do you create a life, but also the human question. So the book includes annotation and essays that explain the science behind the story and explore the social and the ethical aspect of scientific creativity. You know, when the world get modern each century, we got this kind of scientific creativity very faster and faster. AI is one of it. So this is the same kind of question we need to ask. So it is used to talk about any kind of scientific advancement that we worry will have unintended consequences. So she said that's a very important statement in the book. And she said the idea of creating something that ends up going beyond the intention or being more than the creator can handle. Okay? So that's a warning of this kind of invention, new invention. All that has social implications, a lot, because the invention will have a lot of social implication to the society. It is extremely familiar to us, and the one that is often used to question the ethical implication of advancement in science. AI is a science already developed for 50 years. So it's really an advancement in science. Let me give some example, some unintended consequences. Okay, so I call it dilemma of AI. So everybody love AI. We will talk about that. So we want to manage AI, not handled by AI, right? So we create AI. We want to be able to handle it, but not managed by AI. Of course, there are a lot of good sayings that you try to use it, or you will be handled by AI. Okay, so the other some small side information like dialect is not an option of AI. Oh, I thought they know everything, but dialect is really a bigger challenge for AI. Okay, for instance, in Google's AI, you can ask question, but Google's AI only accept English to ask AI question. But some other AI, they will accept Chinese, English, and more languages. So you know that AI is causing a lot of excitement, but also when you start using it, you will find, let me see, create some problem. Let's goes to a famous teacher's problem. Because the teacher always give a homework to student for them to write essay. You know, one of the AI's expertise, you give them some subject, they can write very good essay. So that create real problem in school. So some students so smart, they're using AI to write essay. The teacher is very hard to find out whether student write it or AI write it. Because, and also AI has other capability, like AI can create video, which more confuses for creation, because video used to be evidence. Right now, people can create video. That means people can create evidence, right? So the end result is right now what the teacher thinks. The teacher wishes AI can help to find out whether the essay turned by student is created by AI or not. So teacher trying to use AI to solve the problem. See, that's very interesting situation, right? So let's go to the real world. A lot of good question always survey also in magazine or newspaper or website. Do you often interact with AI? Usually this kind of survey, they will ask the personal information as your age, your gender or whatever. According to the statistics, they will ask more interesting question like, how much do you trust AI? People's trying to use AI to answer questions, but do you trust the answer? Okay, so let's use a generation. We know we have a baby boomer generation, the next X generation. Of course, there's a Y generation. You know what? Right now, this stage, people concentrate on Z generation. That means born in 1997 to 2012. That's called Z generation. Say they use, you know, baby boomer is right after World War II. That's called baby boomer. Okay, so right now it's Z generation. They are the young people. So let's talk about Generation Z, Gen Z. The survey shows Generation Z exhibits very strong preference for using AI compared to older generation like Y generation, X generation, or baby boomer. Like we call Gen X or millennials, okay? Particularly in a professional setting. While older generations also utilize AI, but the Generation Z, the youngest one, tend to engage with it more frequently and for various work tasks. They showing a higher adoption rate. Their Generation Z, they also demonstrate a willingness to use AI for learning and education. That's why the teacher has a problem, okay? And Generation Z, they grew up with technology. The cloud technology, latest one including AI. So making them feel more comfortable and familiarized with its use. So, and the Generation Z, they have witnessed the very rapid advancement in AI. So leading them to embrace it more readily. So that means you can tell there's a survey that Generation Z, they trust, or about half of the Generation Z, they trust AI's answer than other answer. So you see the AI have a very big impact on Generation Z. If AI provide a good information, that's good for the Generation Z. If the AI provide a biased information, Generation Z, they learn from AI, their idea will be biased too, because bias exists in the big data. The AI provider, they don't differentiate it then that will be the problem. Okay. So therefore, from now on, how to provide AI with correct Si information? Because we're from Si, we find that some AI provide good information, some AI provide insufficient information, some even provide very biased information. So from the Si, we know AI is affecting the society globally, not just one country, globally. It's a trend now. So for Si information, how to provide it, large amount of correct Si electronic information on the internet. Because why is that? Because the AI all draw the information from the internet. That's a big pool of data. Every AI is using that data to train their AI to answer all the questions. If they don't have correct Si information, I mean electronic information on the internet, or they find some biased information, they all included in the training. Okay? So we should even build an AI that belongs to Si to provide correct Si information for the world to use. That's an ambition. That's a thought. Okay, everybody can think about that. So at the same time, people should do more where they done that. Say more, write more, because right now AI doesn't ask people. They collect information from the internet. Share more. So we always, if you love 上人, you should talk more about Si. You should share what you did. Okay. Increase the publication of Si information in English, because right now, as I mentioned, right now on the internet, 46% data are in English. In Chinese, only 6%. Okay. But mostly publication from Si are in Chinese that we have read. There is some in English, but seems not enough. And invite AI provider to participate in Si apprenticeship training. That's more aggressive way. Like the AI provider, they arrange the training program, the content for their AI. So if their provider, we invite them to attend Si, get trained, so they will know what the information is correct, what the information is not correct. At least at their stage, they can do the training to a less biased information in the AI to provide the AI user the more correct Si information. And even more aggressive, because right now the AI software, there's some open source. So we can use the free open source AI software to build Si-based AI. With the volunteer, they contribute the information, they train the AI, and Si people to provide correct data to train the AI and provide to the world after we provide a successful training for this AI. So we'll get the correct Si information and avoid occurrence of something happen in the society, misunderstand Si.
So finally, I want to say that AI is a man-made machine. Maybe AI bring us knowledge, but it cannot bring us wisdom. AI must return to the Si's humanity and values. AI can be good or evil, and we must use technology to good place to help the mankind. Otherwise, it will destroy mankind. AI is used to improve the quality of the education. AI must learn to respect human nature so that there will be no harm from fraud.
So we can use open source AI software such as DS to build AI software based on Ching. With Ching, people provide the correct data to train AI. After successful training, it will be provided to the world to use. So with the right knowledge and the right view, and that's I mentioned before. Yeah.
Okay, so the new era of the artificial intelligence be causing and peers and the return to the simplicity of the nature. AI, it is the man-made machine, but the human world is a world of the scientists, the beings.
AI, it brings us knowledge, but it cannot bring us wisdom. So AI, it will not cultivate our humanity. AI must return to Ching humanity and values. So AI, it can be good or evil. We need to transform artificial intelligence into wisdom and use technology for good so that we can help the poor or the elderly. Otherwise, it would destroy humanity. So AI, when used to improve the quality of education, we must learn to respect human nature and protect personal information.
Okay, so let's listen to the Master Zheng Yan teaching about the AI.
人间呢、是有情的世界，再怎么样 AI 都是人造的智慧，所以人去制造呢这个智慧给气人啊，那总是呢我们要回归了，回归呢人。要回归人的智慧，其实人的智慧呢，那就是要最真诚，那这个真诚才能有永恒嘛。
So Master Zheng Yan tell us because this is from AI conference at the Si Abode last year, because there are a lot of different people know about AI, have a meeting with AI. That's the time Master Zheng Yan give the conclusion. So the essence of her teaching is because AI is man-made machine, it gives us knowledge, but cannot give us wisdom. And we still need everything. AI is just a new science invention. So we need all goes back to the humanity. And Master Zheng Yan give us advice is only sincerity can last forever. That means AI is very good tool, accepted in many society. How do we use the tool properly, accurately, in the good direction? So that I think that's Master Zheng Yan give us the we call the positive thinking about AI.
So such as like now, this meeting is being transcribed for the AI convention. So AI is coming. So now we hope we can invite AI to join our volunteer training, join the Institute of the Religions the study. Okay, so thank you for your listening, and probably you can also provide some advice for talking about AI. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Victor and Sister Janet, for the technology update and how the tool can be used. And I know you have highlighted, I guess that the AI, as you quite rightly pointed out, is somewhat like a knife. It can be used well, or it can use for other purposes, and therefore, because as you speak, and I was going through, and I say to myself, I am unenlightened being. I'm not enlightened. So a lot of information that I will put in, and it's purely based on my views. And that's the bit of a worrying thing, I guess. But so to show the newspaper cutting about Master just now and speaking, and it crossed my mind that, wow, what happened if this thing later on be graduating after this time of Master? Whether the teaching can continue despite the Master is not around, and it is somewhat, in some ways, it's a daunting thought that it can happen, but depends on the people that build the AI, I guess. And quite like you pointed out, there are programs available, and people will input that, and you use the word provided the correct information is put in. All right, so for us, we learned something. It's a new tool for all of us. And in the meantime, I should have mentioned this. I think you all have to turn on your video. Some have left us, and we need to take a photo.
Yeah, allow me to say a few words, Brother Chin.
Yes, please. Brother.
Yeah, after listening to Brother Victor's very comprehensive sharing, I guess, Brother Victor, we must recruit ChatGPT and DeepSeek as part of the commissioning so-called journey. So once we commission all this AI technology, most probably after they go through the learning process, they will become wiser. Just a very humorous thought. We have to commission all this.
Yes, totally agree.
Okay, so has the photo, someone has taken the photo?
Okay.
Okay, so if you turn on the video and Sister Su Ching, can you take the photo?
Let me try. Oh, Sister Siu Gwen can help. SK, let me try because I'm on the handphone. Okay, I will try.
What was Sister Irene?
Yeah.
Sister Irene, can Okay, 感恩哦。
感恩 so much.
感恩 so much. Okay.
感恩 so much.
感恩哦 Richie and the team share is very wonderful.
So, with this, that's the end of this Saturday morning sharing. So, with that, so I would like to offer 3 reverent vows to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. First vow. Second vow. Third vow. I'd like to offer a vow to the both masters. Wow. All right. So, brothers and sisters, so have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. All right.
Okay, bye-bye. Good hosting. Great hosting, Brother Chin.
And then,